Hello, this is Danielle Yawowiecka with the BBC News. The chairman of Twitter has said it will sue Elon Musk to enforce the completion of the Tesla chief executive's $44 billion agreement with the company. Earlier, Mr. Musk announced he was pulling out of the deal. Here's our Silicon Valley correspondent, James Clayton.
Elon Musk is essentially saying that when he put that offer in, he thought that there were more users that actually use Twitter than there actually are. And to be fair, there are a lot of spam accounts on Twitter. Twitter actually said yesterday that they delete 1 million bots a day. And what Elon Musk says is, I bought something under false pretenses. I thought there were way more active users on Twitter than there actually are. As a result of that, you breached the contract, and as a result of that, I'm pulling out. Whereas Twitter is saying, no. We've given you all the information you need, and you are now in breach of this contract, and we'll see you in the US courts.
President Biden has signed an executive order to help safeguard women's access to abortion. The move follows the Supreme Court overturning the landmark ruling that made the procedure legal across the United States. Mr. Biden condemned the Supreme Court, saying it had not based its decision on the Constitution. The UN Security Council has failed to reach an agreement on sending cross-border humanitarian aid from Turkey into rebel-held northwest Syria. Russia vetoed a resolution to extend the operation into the Idlib province for a further 12 months. A Russian proposal to allow the Bab al-Hawa crossing to stay open for only 6 months was vetoed by the US, Britain and France. Russia's Deputy Envoy Dmitry Polyansky accused Western Security Council members of misrepresenting his country's proposal.
What our American and British and other colleagues are now trying to imply is that 6 equals to 0, and that there is no will in this draft that we proposed to extend this resolution further. This is totally a fail. My arithmetic is not very bad, it's very good. So I think that 6 doesn't equal to 0.
A US federal border control agency has concluded that border guards on horseback who last year forcibly prevented Haitian migrants from entering the United States used unnecessary force. Images of the incident appear to show some of the mounted border agents whipping migrants with their reins. Here's Rhianna Croxford.
The inquiry by US Customs and Border Protection concluded that the guards had not whipped the migrants from Haiti, but had behaved in an unprofessional manner, including using offensive language and unnecessary force. The governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, has said he's authorized the state's National Guard to apprehend and return migrants crossing from Mexico back to the border. But the policy has since been condemned as immoral by Mexico's president, and the White House has warned Mr. Abbott against meddling in federal affairs.
World News from the BBC. Deforestation in Brazil's Amazon rainforest has hit a 6-year high. According to data from the National Space Agency, nearly 4,000 square kilometres of land were cleared between January and June. Campaigners blame the right-wing president Jair Bolsonaro for rolling back environmental protections and emboldening loggers and ranchers who clear public land for profit. The leader of one of Mexico's most powerful gangs appears to have issued an unusual plea for the country's drug cartels not to target civilians in their increasingly bloody wars. Kat Wiener reports.
In a video circulated on social media, a man claiming to be the leader of the notorious Jalisco New Generation cartel can be heard urging rival gangs to keep the war amongst themselves. Flanked by masked and heavily armed men, Nemesio Seguera Cervantes insists that we are people who are for the people and asks for religious figures, in particular Catholics, to be spared. The unverified broadcast comes after last month's slaying of 2 Jesuit priests and a tour guide by suspected members of a drug gang, a crime that shocked Mexico and drew condemnation from the Pope. More than 30,000 people were killed in Mexico last year.
The heads of the US and UK security services have said working closely is vital in stopping terrorist threats. Speaking at the end of joint meetings in London, the FBI's Christopher Wray said they were increasingly seeing lone actors carrying out attacks with little training and using crude weapons, which made sharing intelligence crucial. MI5's head, Ken McCallum, said they were facing a very difficult cocktail of risks when it came to extremism. Canada's largest mobile and internet provider has suffered a major outage, disrupting access to banking, transport and emergency services for thousands of people. Government operations have also been hit by the issue at Rogers Communications. According to an internet monitoring group, a quarter of Canada's internet connections were knocked out early on Friday. BBC News.